halfway through Super Bowl week, and somehow it feels like the game is still months away. We got another great show today. Kyle Turley stops by to talk marijuana in the NFL. To talk about it, don't get too excited, not smoke it. Brees and I throw footballs at giant team helmets, and Marty Bennett writes a love letter to Tom Brady. But first, we've got a panel, and we need to meet them. New York Jets wide receiver, 6-time Pro Bowler, and probably my favorite person in mother's favorite person on this television program, Sarah Tiana. And lastly, back from a debilitating fake pulled hamstring yesterday, Nick Wright. How's it doing? How is it? Your leg, is it okay?
The recovery from a fake injury is always the toughest.
Yeah.
And so I'm powering through today.
Good. Well, we're here for you, and we're happy to have
Thank you.
Let's get right into it, guys. We are smack dab in the middle of a week of storylines and conversations about the matchup on Sunday, and there's one I found particularly interesting, and that would be the LA Times trying to make the Super Bowl more dramatic by calling it a matchup of good versus evil, featuring, quote, cheating Brady versus wide-eyed Maddie, which is probably the most ridiculous lead I've ever heard. Everybody knows where I stand on this as a Patriots fan, but Brandon, you actually play in the NFL. I don't know if you know that. Does that make sense to you as a player?
Well, give me some background. What are they talking about, good versus evil?
That people hate the Patriots because they're cheaters. That the Falcons aren't, although I think they pumped crowd noise into their stadium.
Can't hear you.
That's because all the fake crowd noise. Yeah. So yeah, is this like a thing that we do, the media, and that the players are like, this is not the case?
I guess my question is, who isn't evil, right? Like,
preach.
I mean, I'm gonna be totally honest. I may be going a little too deep too soon. I mean, we got like another 58 minutes.
Dive right in.
But oh my gosh, this is one of the most corrupt environments that you can be in. Entertainment, sports. I mean, we're talking about starting at the youth level in sports. It's so corrupt, it's so volatile. Everybody's evil to me.
Yeah. Especially Bill Belichick, because I can kind of see him just rubbing a cat a lot. I just imagine that's what he does in the locker room.
Is that an Inspector Gadget callback?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Are the Patriots like that evil to you? I can't be unbiased on this.
No,
I went off on Deflategate for 20 minutes on Monday.
I would probably root for Russia in the Olympics before the Patriots.
Really?
Wow. But are you auditioning for a place in our president's cabinet right now?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening? We're in Texas. I forgot.
Bingo. So, all right, listen. In the last decade, right, the Patriots have been caught up in one scandal, and that's the deflated footballs.
Yeah.
The science behind that is very questionable. The league's execution of that was laughable. And so in my eyes, what we have is one team has simply executed better than everyone else. One team also, because of film study that I know Brandon can speak to, because they look for every available, I don't want to say shortcut, but every available path to victory. They do things like the different formations against the Ravens a couple years ago that were not against the rules, just up against the edge of the rules.
Yeah.
And so you combine that with the fact that because they're so good, they've been in the spotlight. You combine that to the way the league botched what I think was a real scandal in Spygate, and because they botched it, none of us really know what happened because they burnt the tapes, literally burnt the tapes. That's always a cloud hanging over it. And so because of all that, we just have this trope that the New England Patriots are cheaters. And I was told I'm not supposed to attack people, but opinions. So an incredibly lazy opinion, but I'm sure a very diligent writer in Bill Plaschke. What we have is this trope, it's good versus evil, it's bad, it's nonsense.
It's lazy.
Of course it's lazy.
Yeah, and I feel like the Patriots are like the Lannisters. Like, everybody hates them, but they make good TV. They make good TV.
They do make good TV.
But they don't say anything.
You said that every league or the whole league is evil. If you had to pick which franchise, as a player who knows more than we do, is actually the evil franchise, who would it be?
Oh man, all of them.
All of them? We're going to bail you out and let you say all of them?
All of them,
Not
yes.
the Cowboys?
Yeah, Jerry Jones. I can't go there right now. No, but the business of the NFL, at times it can be a bit much, and at times it can be toxic.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a $10 billion business.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. When there's money involved, people do strange things.
Yeah, this panel is a
do you
perfect
feel
example.
conflicted that's, I mean, this is like, I don't know if I've ever heard an active NFL player say the stuff you said these first 10 minutes. I appreciate the honesty. Do you feel conflicted that this is how you make a living? Like that you are involved directly in what it seems like you deem just an inherently immoral enterprise?
Well, there's no different, I'm gonna be honest with you, there's no separation between sport and entertainment and politics and corporation. It's all the same. When money gets involved and people get involved, people do strange things. That's the best way I can describe it.
Like
so for me,
reality stars.
yeah, I mean, we look at just how the narrative in our media, how we cover sports, right? Like we put our athletes on a totally different pedestal, and we expect them to be these superheroes when we're not, and we try to hold them to a standard that we don't even hold ourselves to, you know. And I just think that it's time for us to look at how our relationships are between the media and athletes and players and ownerships, because it's really toxic.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And that's not just football, that's all sports.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I would love to let you keep talking, but we got to get to the next
Okay,
story.
sure.
Moving on, Jets wide receiver Brandon Marshall, I've never heard of him, was very vocal about wanting the Jets to re-sign Ryan Fitzpatrick last year. This year, though, he's reconsidering that approach. He said yesterday, quote, you want to just read it?
I think last year the whole Fitz situation took a lot out of me. My job is to be a wide receiver. I'm getting out of the front office department. Is that Brandon from the Broncos?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, there are two of you, so it does get confusing. But Brandon Marshall, what do you think about what Brandon Marshall said?
You almost got me on that one. You know what? I was asked a question about our quarterback situation and what happened last year. And basically what I said is, when your teammate is going through negotiations, you feel that, especially when you're a wide receiver. Like, everything that he does affects me, and vice versa. Like, I need this guy to be successful, whether that's on the field or successful in taking care of my family. So I stood on the table, and I would do it again, because that guy had an amazing 2015 year, and we only had a couple weeks to put it together. So I thought going into the offseason, if we had the entire offseason, we would be 10 times better. It didn't happen that way. But the scrutiny and the energy that, I felt that year, it was like, no, you know what? It's time for me to just play wide receiver.
I loved that you did that, though. Can I just say, I loved that you were like, we got to sign him. That's my guy. Because a stamp of endorsement from you for Ryan Fitzpatrick goes a long way.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's time for us to change some things in our culture. And one of the things that we do is when our teammates are in situations like that, it's like, oh, that's their business.
Yeah.
You know, he'll take care of that. But I think that we should see more of that, where guys stand up for each other. And that's why I did it, is because I believed in him. He's my teammate, and we fight every single day together, every single Sunday together. And whether it's on the field or if it's at the board table, we should be doing the same thing.
I really took your advice to heart, because I made him my fantasy quarterback.
So did I. So did I.
And I totally believed in him. And I'm like, it makes me feel good to know that he believed in him too, and he actually.
I had Fitz and Tyrod Taylor.
I mean, well,
and you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You didn't go to the playoffs either.
I got close.
Well, again, it goes to that point that it's a copycat league, and everyone's trying to build that structure where they have an excellent head coach who can manage everything, a quarterback who's a superstar, and we kind of got away from the fundamentals of football, right? The fundamentals of football is what? It's simple X's and O's, and it's tackling and blocking, right? Running the ball, being able to stop the run, and we got away from that, playing complementary football where the offense complements the defense complements special teams, and we got to get back to that. We got to get back to those days where how the Baltimore Ravens won the Super Bowl off of their defense, right? We got to get back to those days where Seattle Seahawks won games because of their defense, their running game, and their special teams. So I think there's hope, because there's a lot of bright minds now figuring, like the 49ers saying, you know what, enough of trying to do it this way. We're going to go do it our way.
Yeah.
And people will figure it out.
Yeah, well,
Everybody's
let's
going on
hope
the
so.
boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hope so. Coming up, guys, there's a bunch of giant helmets right outside of here, so I got Drew Brees to throw footballs at them. We'll be right back. So we're here outside the NFL Experience in Houston. There's 32 helmets for every team in the NFL. So what we're going to do, I'm going to ask you some questions,
Bam.
and then instead of answering the questions, you're going to throw a ball at the team that is the answer. Here we go. Ready? And go. Who did you beat in the Super Bowl?
That would be the Colts.
Tough throw.
Goodness gracious.
Who drafted you?
Holy cow. Charges.
Chargers.
All right.
Who was the first team you ever beat?
Bengals. Nicked it.
What teams have won 5 or more Super Bowls?
Pats. No, they haven't 4.
Nope.
Well,
We'll
maybe,
take it,
maybe
though.
that's foreshadowing. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Where's the Steelers? Nope.
That
Nope.
counts. You hit
No,
the.
it didn't.
Okay.
There
That
you go.
counts.
All right. San Fran?
Yes. One
Okay.
more.
5. Cowboys. Where's the boys?
Where are they?
Right there.
Boom.
Okay.
Who's the only team you haven't beaten?
Ravens. Where are those? Oh. Okay.
What 3 teams have you beaten the most?
Panthers. Bucks. Panthers. Too high. And
Bam.
Falcons.
Yep.
Where you at, Falcons?
Oh my God, crushed it, man.
Well done.
I think you're gonna make it, kid.
Huh?
I think you got a real career ahead of you.
Yeah, keep plugging
Wait,
away.
one last
All right.
one. Who's
Yeah.
gonna win the Super Bowl?
You throw it. Look at you. Well done.
Could not do that again
All right.
if you paid me.
Left-handed. Oh, a little high.
For the record, I hit it and Drew Brees didn't.
I missed
For
it.
the record.
I missed it.
Threw it with his left hand, but that's like an asterisk.
Missed it.
You know Rob Ryan really well?
Yeah.
Does he want to date me, do you think?
Rob Ryan?
I have a huge crush on Rob Ryan.
Do you?
I've yet to meet him.
The silver fox?
Yeah. What's the line I should drop on him when I meet him? How do I get him to be wooed by me?
Tell him that you have another cover 0 defense that you want to show him.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like a euphemism. I like it.
I wish there was music.
Yeah, Nick, you weren't necessarily wrong, but earlier this week it seemed like you were a little hungry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Play the video now.
Because Tom Brady has to be very milk toast and careful. His dad doesn't.
Please don't ever say milk toast on our show.
Okay, my
It's just
bad.
like it makes me think of like milk and also toast.
The way the NFL handled it was so ham-handed. Another thing I probably shouldn't say on your show.
Ham-handed.
Ham-handed milk toast. I'm just trying to get
Are you
a little
hungry?
Someone close to me, if I'm hamstrung where I can't say something.
Again, with the ham.
Oh, that's a good point. That's 3 in a row. I'm going to try to get 5 in before the end of the show.
Yeah. Also, they missed one where you said that it was hamstring. You blew your hamstring, which
Yeah.
made you a chicken because you faked it.
Oh, yeah.
Burn him, guys. I got this. That's